were you always thinking about rapping, or when did that come in?
Man, not really. So I was already a little older, about 19 years old. And I met an individual, I met a homie that was producing, and back then producers, you know, I think we're the same age group, so producers weren't as common now. Not everyone's making beats, you know what I mean?
Right.
So to have somebody that was making beats, I met him, his name was Kevin Knox, man, and we created our little label together. I was just intrigued with damn, bro, you're making beats, and I never really rap. I was just on the boss side of it, like, man, I could invest into this. And, you know, most people know me through my brother Woodie that passed away, rest in peace, but I did one song, showed it to my brother, he loved it, and the rest was history, man. I was in the game.
Wait, so when you start rapping, though, like, who are you looking at as someone that you see as successful? Was there anybody that you knew who was really tapped in with the music industry, or was everybody independently hustling?
That was my boy Woodie I was just talking about.
Oh, so Woodie was the first dude that you knew who had a label deal and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was signed with Koch Records back then. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, because they were more like the independent thing, Jim Jones, and a lot of dudes, like, as the major label shit was kind of starting to crumble and everything was going online, there's like a lot of artists who were able to go to Koch Records and get a deal where they would be able to participate and get like a very large percentage of the profits. Yeah. And it was kind of had some of the benefits of being with a label, but then it was also separate from the major label. They would shoot you
some money and let you do your thing with it, you know what I'm saying? And but he had motion without the label. So like if you were a Chicano from Northern California and even beyond, like everyone was slapping Woodie. He was a real prominent figure in our culture, you know what I'm saying? So when he gave me the opportunity, and I was a fan of him before I met him, you know, so once I did cross paths with him, we became friends. He gave me my opportunity, and like I said, that helped me hit the ground running, bro.
Was he the first white Norteño that you met, or just one of the first? It's very rare, right?
See, we're in our section is obviously different than up here.
Right.
We got a mixture of people, you know, we got blacks, Mexicans, whites. So we had a few white homies, you know what I mean? And he was the most known for sure, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't just a rapper, he was known and respected in the streets beyond the rap, you know?
And was it like a personality thing? Like, did he just have that kind of charisma that made it clear to you that he was capable of being a celebrity, or was it more about him just being better at rapping and making music?
I would say both. Because I know a lot of individuals that could rap that just don't have that charisma, personality. So I would say both, you know what I mean? Because I would see people meet him and trip the fuck out, bro. They would look at him like they met, you know, Jesus, man, you know what I mean? I would see that as a youngster, and like, damn, bro, he has that effect on people, you know what I'm saying? So he did have that for sure.
So the white thing wasn't that big a deal to you, like that?
You look past that.
Right.
Yeah, you would look at the individual, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Was he somebody who kind of made a name for himself in the streets, or as a rapper first?
Both.
Really?
But I mean, we didn't have social media, and even if we did, people didn't announce that shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, I think now because of YouTube, they're doing documentaries and stuff like that. Now things are revealing itself, and people are seeing that the stories he was spitting about, and they're putting two to two together now.
Right.
So back then, of course, people don't, hey, you're just a white boy rapping, or you guys are from Antioch, you ain't shit. But now the internet and all that, people are going back and, like I said, doing documentaries and stuff.
Right, there's a lot of people trying to make videos about the story of Woodie and everything like that. For sure, it's like a serious thing people are interested in now.
He's huge in our culture, man. He's very, very, very well, you know, he's our big dog, you know what I'm saying?
And like I always say when we're talking about like music from the 90s or the early 2000s, shit like that, it feels like rappers were like much less likely to put their real life criminal exploits in their music. But one thing that some of these documentaries point out is that Woodie was like embedding little pieces into his lyrics that were talking about real life situations that people probably didn't know about at the time. Like, were you conscious of that?
Yeah, he was intricate with that, man. He knew what he was doing, and he even said it in his raps. Like, I know detectives is trying to decode these raps. So that dude would play games. You know, it was real. So, you know, the police were on people. It was going down. So he knew how to maneuver it in a way he couldn't be prosecuted. And a song he did do where he was kind of creating a statement, he already went through trial and won it and everything. So they have that, whatever it's called, I can't think of the word of it, called
Double Jeopardy. Can't try you again.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. But so, okay, he tapped in with you after you had only made like a couple songs? Or? One song.
So it's a small town. We were already we were just young. Like I said, I was throwing the picture earlier. I was a young D-boy, chilling with the homies. We had our respect beyond our crew. And it's like it was a game recognized game. Once I met him, we just kind of hit it off, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, what's up, brother? I respect what you do. He respected I hear about you youngsters out here. So when I did do a song, he was just like, man, you rapping now? I got to hear this. I pulled up on him. It was him and, at Mountain Mike's Pizza, him and Little Los, man. I pulled up, showed him the song, and he just told me, bro, I would love to get you on my next project. To me, I felt like I made it.
Wow.
I was like, shit, I'm on, brother. I didn't care about nothing else, but I'm on right now. And I just like, you know what, bro? I went and built a whole little studio, and I was like, let me perfect this a little bit better. I did kind of a better song, gave it to him. That song was actually one of the hits on his album too, so it did really well for me. It wasn't something he just put on and it got overlooked. That was one of the songs that ran it up, and heard a lot of people slumping it through the town. A lot of places I went, they were bumping it. A lot of car shows, they were bumping it. So it did good for me, bro. You know what I mean?
From your perspective at that time, how big was this sort of Northern California rap scene? Like, because now we're kind of like used to there being all this underground street shit that ends up getting millions of views and shit like that. But like, this is kind of like a new invention at that time. It's like relatively recent, in particular, it being so embedded in the streets and shit. It's like, this is something that was kind of new, it was kind of fresh. Like, from your perspective, was this something that you could become rich and famous for? Or was this more like just a real expression of your street lifestyle?
I think a little bit of both, but obviously if we could have been rich, like it could have blew up more, obviously it would have, right? But I think because like it was new, you know, anybody that's early on to something is going to get the most recognition before it gets, I won't say cluttered, but there's so many people doing it now. So it was huge, but like I said, we're taking it back to the late 90s, early 2000s when most Chicano rap or homeboy rap was kind of on some cholo shit still. You know, like that was the stilo back then with the music. And so when Wood came out, he came out just like spitting, gassing, because he would listen to the shit we listened to, a lot of Bay Area rappers, you know, the 11-5s and the Andre Nicotina's and the, you know, just the Bay Area stuff, you know what I mean? So he came in with that whole style, man, and it just like shocked a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't used to seeing that, you know, it was crazy.
Definitely. So do you relate to that conversation that we've kind of been having on the podcast a little bit about if the north of California is a little bit like in terms of the Chicano rap community, are you guys a little too influenced by the black community? How do you feel when you see people having that conversation?
I wouldn't even say influenced by the black community. It's just that it's just a culture thing, I would say. You know, like I said, because we have white people, we have black homies, we have Mexican homies. It's just, I can't explain it because I'm from a different time where we were kind of mixture of both. A lot of my OG homeboys were like super cholo. Listen to oldies, low riders. We rocked the Ben Davis and Dickies and Cortez. I used to baby cuff my pants. I was on low rider bikes. So I come from that culture where we were kind of mixed. We were somewhat cholo, but we were still talking a little Bay with it, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's evolved to this time where the styles a lot changed, but that's just anything, styles always change, you know?
Right.
From Motown to disco to 80s to 90s to now, you know?
Right, definitely. So did you then become part of Woodie's label, or like how does your relationship kind of evolve from there?
I was always like, I don't like working under nobody. I was always my own boss. I built my own label. I built my own studio. I didn't really ask my brother for much, but advice, game, and a few verses, and that was it. I got my own production, my own. He gave me a lot of wisdom. This is how I'm distributing. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing that. And a lot of just education, man. But I wasn't sitting there waiting for like, what's next you're gonna do for me? You know, appreciate the opportunity. That's why we became friends. I didn't just need him. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a mutual. We kicked it way more than we did music.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Interesting. So were you so close to him that you were kind of involved in whatever types of shit that he had going on in the streets, or is that kind of like?
That's before my time.
Okay.
He was about 9 years older than me.
Okay.
So a lot of that stuff had transpired. A lot of his crew has already, I don't know if you did research, a lot of the people have already diminished, went separate ways, died, prison, all that stuff. And we were kind of the new wave coming in. That's why I feel like maybe it was refreshing for him.
Okay.
He was getting older. He lost a lot of his friends. Here comes some young homies with some game, you know what I mean? And kind of brought some new life to, he was already doing his thing, so I feel like it helped each other. He was up here, and it helped us come up there too, and we helped bring, you know, power with him too, you know what I'm saying?
In the lead up to him passing away, like how much communication did you guys have, or like what was your perspective on where he was at in his life?
I was talking to him to the end.
Okay.
I rock with bro to the end. You know, I don't want to get into too much details because there's a lot of unanswered questions on my end. I'm confused about a lot of shit. But he, you know, he was around some snakes. You know what I'm saying? And bro, just, you know, bro lived a crazy life, man. The shit he rap about is real. And when you're a good dude and you live some real shit, sometimes that shit haunts you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody listens to his music, he's telling you the type of shit to go through. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So are you in any way skeptical about the narrative that he took his own life?
Somewhat, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's nowhere for you to really go with that? There's like no way that you would be able to like uncover more truth?
I beat myself up going crazy trying to figure it out for years, you know what I'm saying? I have my you know, my thoughts, but that's just because, you know, my thoughts, man. So, yeah, I would beat myself up, so I try not to get into that too much down that rabbit hole because yeah, you're right. I'd be a dead end trying to figure that out, you know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.